Hi there, it's Galen, design team member with Unity Stamp Company. Today I have a really sweet friendship card. It's a bicycle, it's a tandem bike, and it has soft layers in the background. I use simple stamping and a touch of color using colored pencils today. And so for the stamping, I'm using the Unity kit called Enjoy the Ride. It's this tandem bike, and it has a couple of really nice sentiments in there and postage marks. So I'm going to use one of the sentiments and the postage marks and the bike. And so I'm using Colorbox ink, which is a pigment ink, and also Ranger Archival ink. I'm using for color pencils, Prismacolor colored pencils in shades of pink and teal and white. I'm using the Mini Misty and dies by My Creative Time, scallop stitched rectangular dies, and also I'm using ribbon end dies. It's not necessary to use die cuts. With this card, you can just simply use a paper trimmer to trim some layers for the background. And so I'm using the ink to stamp in black the sentiment and the bike. And then I'm coming in with the white pigment ink to add those postage marks on the top part of this card just for accent. So I heat set that. You can emboss the white just the same, but I just chose not to heat emboss the white area. I just let it dry and heat set it a little bit more. And so once that black ink is really dry, you can go right over it with colored pencils. I didn't do any special blending with Gamsol fluid for this. I just went ahead and use the pencils direct to paper. And so I went over it with this light blue color first for the bike frame and some of the basket, and I also added some white accents first also. And so I wanted a little more of a teal color, so I added another shade of turquoise in there with the blue, just to give it more of a beachy look, more of a girly look. And then I'm going to add pink later. And so I add some of that to the bike and to the basket. Now I'm adding a light shade of pink to the flowers and to the seat and the ribbon, and just to give the bike some extra accents. And it will match that background layer in pink that I die cut. And so I wanted it to be a little darker there, so I added some more of a darker magenta accent in some of those pink areas. And so, the sky's the limit. You can use any colors, any type, just layer until you're satisfied. I'm using white shading on the bottom part of this card just to balance out the white on the top. I made a mistake, so I'm using Tombow Mono Sand Eraser to wipe away or to erase some of those white marks that got onto the tire wheels. I love that little tool. It saves me from making mistakes. So I used layers, layered the background with the top panel, and I used foam tape for the top panel. And I'm adding the sentiment, that a little sentiment tag flag, and I added twine for that. It really came out super easy and really sweet. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube. Have a great day.